Okay, welcome back. It's Monday again, and thanks to my viewers and subscribers for making my last video on the possibility of a real zombie apocalypse my most successful video to date. It's gotten more than 2,000 views in a week, and that's awesome. I want to point out that my first video's description space has a regularly updated collection of links pertaining to this subject, so check it out. It has more links than it did on day one. I filled up that box, and I'll be using the description box on this video to continue the process. Today I want to talk about an article that was brought to my attention by one of my viewers going by the handle of Utah Awakening. This article was originally published on the hstoday.us website, which is a forum for government decision makers to share information on all things pertaining to homeland security. That's what the HS stands for in the website name, Homeland Security. Here is the link to the article. It is still on the site, so go there after watching this video and read it for yourself. It is a smoking gun. I want to point out that this article reveals exactly the shape of the storyline that the criminal government will use when and if the zombie virus is released. That it is the work of underground bargain basement virology hobbyists who unleashed it as part of a program of domestic terrorism. The article frames the ease with which non-state players can access gene manufacturing equipment and whip up zombie viruses in the privacy of their own homes. And when it is unleashed, rest assured that the group that will take the blame for this monstrous act are the U.S. Patriot movements and militias. Now contrast this perspective with what I covered in my last video, that article on National Geographic about the possibility that a zombie virus could be cooked up in a lab. That article quotes a virologist in Miami that said explicitly that a zombie virus could be genetically engineered and outlines the exact viruses that would be necessary to splice together to create a rage virus that would work like the pandemic we saw depicted in the film 28 Days Later. This virologist stated very clearly that the zombie virus could be engineered in a high-tech gene lab, but that it would be very difficult, implying that it was within reach of a major nation-state's genetic engineering resources. But the government is telling us in the article on HS Today that any boob with a Gilbert's chemistry set could whip up one of these rabies-based viruses in about 2 weeks. If you believe that, I've got some prime beachfront real estate in the middle of Death Valley I would like to sell you. The zombie virus will need a level 4 bioweapons lab to create. That fact severely narrows down the list of perpetrators who might be responsible for the release of a designer zombie rage virus. And I'll leave it to you to connect those dots. Okay, now I want to talk about another kind of cannibal zombie that we will probably be facing very soon, probably before we see the virally created zombie hordes. This is the zombie species which is created in the wake of a complete collapse of society. Here are the frightening facts of this matter. Lindsay Williams, a regular guest on the Alex Jones radio show, was on recently with an update on the engineered implosion of the world economy. His update on this program detailed the two major events to look for before the economic collapse of America is a foregone conclusion. He said watch for more derivatives-based mayhem coming out in the news, and to watch for the collapse of the euro. The derivatives-based mayhem portion of this warning has already happened. That would be JP Morgan's announcement of their $2 billion loss to derivatives-based trading. Number 2 is in the process of emerging. The euro is collapsing. The elites are desperately trying to keep the fragile European Union together, but they can't sidestep economic law. When the euro does finally collapse, Williams says the shock waves of that event will reach our financial shores within 2 to 3 weeks. Now, when the euro finally bites the dust, the dollar will follow suit. This means that the banks will shut down, the ATMs and credit card processing equipment will no longer work, you won't have access to your funds, and no more money will be flowing through the economy, and the dominoes will begin to topple. with no money flowing through the economy, means transportation of goods and services will stop. There will be no more food being brought into the supermarkets and restaurant chains. Fuel will stop flowing. The gas stations will no longer have gas. The electricity will be shut down. The water will stop flowing through the plumbing to homes. Society and all the conveniences we take for granted will disappear within a week or so. Overnight, this entire country will become New Orleans after Katrina. I give it a week before the entitlement zombies will be on a rampage eating each other. That's the kind of zombie I'm speaking of. Hungry, angry, insane people still possessed of their intelligence running amok, attacking anybody who they think has food or water they can take. So brace yourselves, people. We haven't seen the worst of this yet. The worst is yet to come. It would probably be prudent to start stockpiling food and water and guns and ammo, and get out of the cities if you can. Well, that's all I've got for now. Keep sending me your stuff you find on this topic. Citizen-based, open-source intelligence ops are the most powerful kind that there is. Out here.